Yeah, greetings, fams, and welcome again. Say excellent and Jarama and Salam to everyone. Yes, here we go with a continuation or an iteration of the I story. So, where I left off last time, Wayne was on his way to the States via Canada, and I was left in Zurich. So the family that I was staying with, at a given point, one of the sons came up and said, okay, now that Wayne is away, and you kind of seen your way around Zurich now, it's time for you to find a place and start to fend for yourself. We've helped you guys enough. So I started going out in the clubs and stuff, and started to ask around if anyone knew of a place that I could rent. So by this time, I was going around the club circuit and playing little gigs with different little bands and stuff, and started to make a little name for myself in the city of Zurich. Now, I came upon someone, actually before that, I started to really hang out late at night and sometimes just, hanging around with people that I met who were even looking for places but still didn't find a place as yet, and used to hang out around the train station, till late at night. And I finally came up on a guy from Jamaica. His name was Devon. And he told me about a guy he knew who had a room actually just a block from where I was staying. So he introduced me to this guy whose name was David. Was a Englishman, born of Swiss mother and English father. Came to Switzerland when he was I think 7 or 8 years old. And he was a rebel, very much a hippie. And Devon introduced me to him, and he said, no problem, I have a flat here with 3 rooms. One is still available. And if you want, you can pay me 100 francs a month. And you can have it. Well, the room was already completely, had a bed, it had a wardrobe and stuff inside. The toilet was outside, and to take a shower I'd have to go into the main shower, but that was cool. I had keys for the flat and access to everything, and it would cost me 100 francs, Swiss francs per month. So that was my first place for myself in Zurich. By then, David was also very much a music fan, jazz and reggae fan especially. And he used to listen a lot to like Pharoah Sanders and John Coltrane and stuff like that. And that was cool for me because there was very much the vibe that I was on. And he was listening also to a lot of reggae, and he smoked a lot of weed. So the idea came up that we could form a band. And he knew a few guys, in the music scene who were kind of apt to towards, say, this kind of, reggae vibe. So he introduced me to a couple of guys, and we formed a band. It was if I remember well, a 7-piece band. saxophone, a trumpet. I was playing trombone and singing, and a rhythm section, guitar, bass, drums, and keyboard. Yeah, 7 piece. It was called the Sixth Creation Band, and very much that was the very first reggae band that was formed in Zurich, in Switzerland. That was around about 1979, late 1979. So very quickly, because the guys, they had contacts and stuff like that, we started to get some interesting gigs, gigs that paid well for a local band at the time. We would earn up, say, between 1,500 and 2,000 Swiss francs, which is still a lot of money today. So we were getting concerts, actually. And we were doing a lot of ska stuff, instrumental ska stuff, and some reggae stuff. Now, the ska stuff was much easier for the guys to play because, it had that little jazz feel and stuff to certain things and up tempo. So we did a lot of ska. And, I would drop in like some tunes from Rico Rodriguez, like Man from Warrico, trombone, bass, and stuff like that, and some Dan drum and tune, Yeah, so this band survived for a while. I would say a good maybe 2 years, all the way up until I think 82. Now, in the meantime, around about beginning 1980, I had a gig with a band from Martinique, and they were playing Zouk. And I was also always just gigging with these kind of bands, Zouk bands and Latin jazz bands like Henri Guidon from Paris and stuff like that. So, I was gigging with this guy and by the name of Frederick. And while preparing for this gig, we were rehearsing, and he brought in a singer from, they said she came from South America, from Venezuela. And somewhat, I don't know. Girl came in, girl looked at me, seemed like the girl had a thing on me. And before you know it, she didn't have a kind of a Caribbean costume. So as I was not living very far from there, she accompanied me to my house to look at some of the stuff that I had. She found a shirt that she could wear on the gig, and somewhat, the girl kind of like said to me, she dig me, yeah. And that's another story for itself down the line. But, the Sixth Creation Band kicked up a storm. We played a lot of gigs, played also some important gigs, like we opened for Culture in the Folks House, and I think we opened for, if I remember well, some other bands like from England and stuff like that. Can't really remember all the bands right now, but I mean, we did some important gigs as we were working in connection with concert agency back then by the name of Jamaica, and they were the first agent that started to promote reggae in Switzerland. So there I ran into a lot of people: Burning Spear, Twinkle Brothers, Culture. I mean, the whole crew from back then, Dennis Brown, the whole thing, Black Uhura, everybody was passing through. So, as I was saying, I was gigging with this Martinican band and this girl, and she came on with me, and, somewhat something clicked very much, I would say, from her side. I think she was okay, but After we went back, we did the gig. The girl started to visit me, and yeah, somewhat we ended up in a relationship, and I ended up marrying her when I was just a little bit over 20. Now, that was one of the crazy things, or one of the craziest things that I would say I ever did when I look back. But that's a story in and for itself. And when I get back, I will continue from there. So give thanks again, one love, and we hope those following the I story, coming to you from the west coast of Africa. God bless, and till the next one, one love.